So how it works, yeah.
So it starts with the login, which is math.talentfarm.ai.
Okay.
And I'm signing into the platform. You see there's a catalog of problem statements which has come up in different areas. It could be in fintech, it could be in agriculture space, it could be in enterprise space. There are several problem
Different
statements.
subjects.
Different problem statements being sourced by different companies. For example, crop monitoring using computer vision, or diagnostic and medical imaging, how to use AI, or fake news detection and prevention.
Or fake news, how fake, which fake news, so, like that?
There's so much of fake news going on social media now. All of us are affected by this. So we are now challenging the students as to how you will use AI and machine learning to solve that problem.
How it works.
So we do give them some inputs and directions, but it is also for them to present their idea. And of course, our mentors will validate that and help them in guiding. Similarly, how do you get the underbanked into the formal credit system? See, in India, or for that matter in a lot of other developing countries, you still have a very limited population which has credit score, right? So if I go for a loan, even if I don't go, I get 3 calls every day, loan ले लीजिए. But जिसको जरूरत है उस बेचारे को तो कोई देता ही नहीं है, because उससे पूछते हैं आपका credit history क्या है. कोई देगा तभी तो credit history शुरू होगा. Credit history will start only when someone gives him a loan, right? So how do you use new technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning to pick up parameters beyond the traditional parameters? So these are the kind of challenges that are put. So if you see, it's not just about programming challenges. These are real life problem statements. These are real life. So what it also does is makes the student think about those domains, and that is the need of the hour. If you really look at things, technology will soon become a commodity.
I know.
It is the domain knowledge. It is, are you a thinking professional? So our offer to the companies is, these are not people who are just programming geeks, because wo to kal Copilot will do it, some other platform will also start doing coding at basic level and all. But these are people who are understanding the problem of the customer, coming up with their approach to solution, getting it validated by industry mentors, and then building end-to-end solution and presenting it. That I think is a very holistic approach. Then of course, once you can select a problem statement, once you go into the platform, there is all kinds of parameters that are there. I'll just...
So you can type your problem, then they'll get the response like this.
Correct. So
chatting or something.
There is enough support which is available by various mentors and all that. So we have mentors listed, for example, for each of the problem statements.
So this is like student side, like any student have an issue, or a professional want to join, that option also.
It is similar. There is very little difference between a professional and this thing, because both are seekers and both are learners.
And you said the very interesting point that the professional will get paid. So
that because I keep telling this,
money,
I'm a parent myself, and you understand today, to make our kids learn something, we also have to dangle a carrot in front of them. So what we realized is, while we believe that we are doing something good in terms of getting problem statements, mentors, and learning resources, we realize that it is still not enough. If we have to excite them to start doing something, one way of doing that could be put up some incentives. So we have incentives ranging from cash prizes like 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees to pre-placement offer, internship offer. हर type का लालच दिया जाता है कि please come on the platform and do, because see, they need that initiation. Once they get that spark, we don't have to do anything. In fact, I'm sure then they will run after us. But you have to create that interest, and to attract the students, to create that interest, we're doing all this because ultimately we want good students on our platform. And my definition of good students is someone who starts trying. So we want students to start trying this platform. And once they start trying this, obviously they will also like it. They will be excited about the mentors. They will be excited about the problem statements, and that's what we want.
So at what age you started this? Like,
I started Idea Labs in 21, when I was 21, just out of my college. Those were days when startup was probably not a very...
People even don't know what is that.
So I come from a business family background.
You're from a business family.
For some reason, because my parents didn't want me to go to US, I stayed back in Hyderabad. But I was the only guy in my whole class, or perhaps my whole college, who stayed back in India, because in those days in 97, as you would understand, There was no IT industry in this.
Oh.
And I think in those days, I would just tell a phrase to defend myself that geography will not make a difference to my destiny.
Oh, great.
And I'm glad
What a
it did
line.
not. And I think with Idea Labs and Talentfarm.ai, we are trying to do the same thing. When we go to rural colleges today, when we go to tier 2, tier 3 cities, we tell those students the same thing, that geography will not make a difference to your destiny.
Wow.
So I
when
think
21 years and you were from a business family, didn't your father told you, we already had a business and you're planning something?
Yeah, but see, when you're 21, you want to do something on your own. You want to create your own identity. You feel that, you don't want to be on the shoulders of your parents. I mean, after working for 20, 25 years, now if someone gives me an option, I would still do what I did, right? Because it's very exciting. And when you do something that you're passionate about, I think it makes a lot of difference. And I think a huge role of my mentor has also been there.
But there will be a struggle of explaining people getting funds, because what he's doing, what is startup? Now if you say it's a trendy and status, you know.
It was not easy, but I think after 2014-15, thanks to all this startup India culture, culture of innovation, culture of this thing, now we are really finding that a lot of people understand these things. Because when we started with Idea Labs, the incubation program. This was in 2003.
Okay.
Now, those were days no one understood Idea Labs or incubation. We had to explain this incubation is not that incubation where chicken,
so complicated.
where eggs are produced, right? But God has been kind. I think we stand on the shoulders of our mentors. We stand on the shoulders of our partners from the ecosystem, because while for us it is still an initiative which is a for-profit initiative, lot of mentors spend innumerable number of hours as part of our initiative giving back, right? Because they see this platform as a platform which is creating an impact.
Yes.
So I think a lot of credit goes to our supporters, friends, mentors who have all been there, and especially the students. Because word of mouth, when a student says that this is a good platform, word of mouth, when a student says that this organization is doing good, there's nothing to beat that. No publicity, no PR, no marketing and advertisement can beat that.
And the thing was, people were misguided. So much misguiding was happening.
There is a huge amount of
people always think
gap.
Consultant. They used to take money. We'll get you job done. So I think these kind of platforms sometimes, yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the reasons why we are not charging the students is that eventually we may want to charge the students after a few years, but at least for the first few years,
you get settled down, get the right job.
Because if we were to go to the same students and say we charge, they would ask us the same questions, because they have been cheated so many times.
Yeah.
And this is very important, Nehaji. You have to understand, these students are at an age group where whatever you do to them, they will do to the society.
Yes, very good line.
Right? They are in that 18 to 22 kind of a thing. Imagine they being cheated. Imagine their trust being lost. They will never be a good citizen. So it is a duty of all of us to ensure that we give them the right deal, so that they become good human beings. And I have seen it so many cases that, people talk about payback. I talk about pay forward, right? There's no way we can pay back to people who have helped us, but we can definitely pay forward to others.
Yes.
And I can tell you with all guarantee, a student or a professional who will go through this system and gain something because of us, because of our mentors, because of the ecosystem, don't you think he will go out and help 10 other students? And that's when we are solving the problem.
Happen. You got cheated sometime? And that hurts you, and then you thought, okay.
No. So I've been very fortunate.
Okay.
लोग बोलते हैं कि you become a good शायर जब आपका दिल टूटता है and all that. But I have been very fortunate that God has been very kind.
There always a time when you see something and then the idea clicks you.
So there are two ways, I believe. One is if you get cheated. The other is if you have been very blessed. In my case, it has been the second case. Whether it's my parents, whether it's my teachers, whether it's my family, whether it's my mentor, whether it's my partners, whether it's my team, for example. I have not spoken about my team. But can you imagine doing this kind of thing without team effort?
It's not possible.
Until today, everyone who has worked with me in the last 20 years is still in touch with me. We have our own WhatsApp group, and I can probably call my ex-team member 12 o'clock midnight with greater confidence than my current team member. That's the kind of relationship.
You have a great leadership quality.
No, it is also because of them. Yeah. They inspire. Because these young people, when they work hard, they inspire us. So I think it's been
what was your first amount you invested?
Wow, what a question. Investment though, I took from my father, and that was very
That
huge.
was a father.
Yeah. So
What year it was?
because I started with this, so I had absolutely no
No money.
earning of my own, right? This
Okay.
was 2003. But then I had worked for 3-4 years
You were
with my
21, 22 years, right? Like,
I had
so
worked.
that,
I
okay.
had worked 3-4 years with my mentor, but when you are in a
Have
joint
your
family
own,
system,
yeah.
it's not like your money, right? Whatever you earn, you go and
So
give back to your mother,
for,
and whatever you want, you take it
yeah.
from her.
So
it
from
was
your startup to invest, what was your first money?
no. I frankly, again, that's a huge blessing because it's only after 1.5 year I realized that in those days we had invested 50 to 60 lakhs.
That time you invested,
2003.
invested
Yeah,
50
because
lakh.
infrastructure, hardware, software, furniture, all of that. And my dad never complained. I mean, you cannot imagine what that support could have been, right? Because I didn't realize I was so busy just focusing on my idea, focusing on my work and all that. It's only after 1.5 year I sat down and I was, generally having a discussion, and then my father showed me, but yeah, we have to also recover some amount of that. So I genuinely believe that in anything that you do in life, there is a role of angels. Uh, they could be your parents, they could be your mentors, they could be your family members, they could be your team members, they could be your co-founders, or they could be people from outside also, right? I've had so many instances where people from outside have just come in right time and help. So that's where I believe that you can only do that much. Beyond that, there is always a divine intervention if something has to become great. So I only pray to God that we stay correct to our course, our moral compass is in the right direction, and that is also where we have a lot of senior mentors as advisors. For example, in Talent Farm, we have Professor UB Desai, who's the founding director of IIT Hyderabad, as the advisor. We have several other advisors. Now, what that does is it ensures that you're staying on your path, you're not deviating from your path, because it's very easy to get tempted, right?
But this was your first journey, as you tell your experience, and then let's come back to your Talentfarm.ai. I think it's been latest.
It's only about 6 months old. In fact, we've started going to market only 1 month back.
But I think how the response is like, as you're telling,
response
like
is
people
tremendous. Response is tremendous, and that's because of 2-3 things, I think. One is, of course, a little bit of credibility that we have. We've been in the same industry for quite some time, so goodwill has a very huge role to play. And when I come from a business family background, I think I want to emphasize on the importance of goodwill.
Yes.
When I started my business, and we were talking about that a little while earlier, my father did not tell me that you should earn this much money or you should get back this much money every month. There was only one advice he gave me. He said, look, our family has a certain reputation which your grandfather and my father has created. If you can enhance it, it's very good. If you cannot enhance it, it's okay, but just ensure that you don't diminish it. And that still stays with me. That's the only advice, that's the only condition, that's the only demand he had.
So then that's business also going on?
That's going on.
And this is your new baby. So in this, how much investment started and in 6 months?
This is a bootstrap version. I'm not sure whether I should be talking about the investment, but quite a bit we have invested in this, again because of our passion. So I have my co-founder also, Sudarshan Tyagarajan. But we are very excited about it.
So as the slab is going?
We've just turned revenue positive this month because we've gone to market only this month, but we are quite confident. And at some point of time, we also want to raise some investment, but we want to raise after proving a point. Because I'm also generally on the investment board of a lot of investment companies, and I know what are the questions that investors ask. So I don't want to go there and make a fool of myself. There are obvious questions in terms of traction, in terms of paying customers and all that. So right now our focus is to work on a pilot with about 10,000 students.
And you said that the colleges from Delhi, Bombay, not from the Hyderabad, other cities
Hyderabad
also coming.
Hyderabad also.
Even Hyderabad, but other cities are also collaborating.
Correct. We have from Udaipur, Sir Padampat Singhania University to Adi Shankara University in Kerala. We have ICFI campuses from Northeast to Hyderabad. We have KG Somaya and Symbiosis from West.
So that all students can get the right knowledge. So don't you think when the colleges collaborating, you somewhere they are also lacking the kind of knowledge and the kind of recruitment they promise? Mostly, if we see some of the college, they promise, oh, after your this course is done, we'll give you campus training. Is it just
So
like they
we,
are trying to collaborate in
yeah, we
same
see,
way?
correct,
कि campus training भी हो रही है and are they like trying to guide these students in this way?
correct. So colleges play a very important role in our journey. In fact, it's not a B2C platform as of now. It's still a B2B2C. So we tell the colleges that don't look at us as a outsider, look at us as a collaborative partner. And we are here to help you. Because frankly, colleges also have the right intentions. But the problem
No,
is,
but they promise campus
they
recruitment
do,
sometimes,
and
yeah.
I would say in most of the cases, having worked with colleges for last 20 years, I would say they do it with good intent, but the system is such that the companies who are recruiting, the students and the colleges, all three are in silos. They don't talk to each other, and there's an element of mistrust.
Okay.
Student, when he goes to college, he doesn't believe in his college. College starts with an impression that all students nowadays are not good.
Okay.
Right? So there's a lot of mistrust, and I think that's where we are also playing a role of a connecting dots in terms of being a sutradhar in this ecosystem. Because if you ask me personally, I don't see any problem with recruiters, I don't see any problem with colleges, I don't see any problems with students. On their own, they are all good. If you sit with the chairman of any college, if you sit with the leadership of any college, they have invested so much of money, they put so much of effort. Obviously, they want their organization to do well. Who would not want their college or university to do well, right? So they want to do well. The intent is good, but somehow there is a little bit problem in the approach they follow. If you look at student, can you imagine any student or any human being not wanting to progress, not wanting to do well in life? Of course they want to, but they don't believe in themselves. Sometimes there's a lack of confidence, there's a lack of trust. The student would probably have joined a college which he did not like, so he carries that impression. He doesn't have right guidance. Nehaji, one important thing that our kids, our young students lack nowadays is the role model. When we grew up, we had a lot of role models in our life, and that is what created that
We
fuel
had
in our
a
body.
joint family that time. Now
Be
nuclear
it joint
families are
family, be
there.
it teachers, be it our belief in them, right? Today, there's a lot of challenge with that, right? And similarly, if you look at companies and recruiters, why would they not want to recruit people, right?
So then why this all happens? The
so that there is a talent
employment,
farm, so that there is a
yeah,
need for
there's
talent farm.
always a news going on and unemployment, youngsters,
It is.
unemployment.
That's what
Lot
I'm
of
trying to say.
things are, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's the paradox. That's the paradox, right?
I think India has a great job opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. And not only for India, but we can be a job, we can be a
Provider.
talent provider for the entire world.
World, yeah.
The whole world is aging, and India is only the young nation. And you know, our people will do anything if they get a good opportunity, right? So I think the future is very bright for India, and we are set to become a global skill provider to the entire world.
So according to your research, India has a lot of job opportunity.
Absolutely.
I think there should not be the word unemployment should be.
Absolutely. Be challenging you. You are here in T Hub. There are typically about 400 plus startups here. You please walk down all the floors and talk to any startup. All of them in unison will say, we are looking for talent. We are not finding talent.
Oh
in fact,
my
just
God.
I think yesterday or day before yesterday, there was a job fair conducted in T Hub. So what I'm trying to say is, with all responsibility, I can tell you, every company is looking for talent. And every candidate is looking for a job. What we need is probably a matchmaker, and that's